What's up, everybody? Today I want to answer one question. I want to know, what's the better commuting device? Is it the e-bike or the e-scooter? Now, I live in a college town and work on a college campus. And when I look around, I see today about 20% of every device that students are commuting to and from their apartments and dorms are e-scooters. And I've never ridden one. So I figure we should take a second and break down this device, look at it for what it is, and compare it. What is the experience like of an e-bike versus the e-scooter? Okay, so just a few basics. Today we're looking at the Isinwheel S9 Max e-scooter. For all intents and purposes, it's very similar to my e-bike that I use for commuting every day. The one major advantage that I can see to a scooter, especially if I was a student or if I was sending my college students to college on their own, is how portable this device is. It folds down and carries. And I've seen students walk right into class with these in tote. They also lock them up, and from what I can tell, they lock up to a bike rack pretty easily. Now, when it comes to weight, this thing weighs in at 34 pounds, which is within 2 pounds of my e-bike. One downfall, I think, to most e-bikes, especially if I was a college student, is that there's no good place to store them indoors. Most college students have very limited storage space. So I can see that a portable, collapsible scooter that could be kept under a bed or easily somewhere in a dorm room is actually a pretty big advantage. I would have a real hard time paying $1,000 or more for an e-bike that's gonna have to sit outside. I know resources for most college kids in college towns have very limited space. I'm not sure that an e-bike is best for most of them. When it comes to safety, I was actually really impressed with this. I let my own kids commute around town on this. I've gone outside at night and I can see them in the dark really easily. It's got a rear light here and a front light up here, and both are very bright and visible even at night. If there was anything that I didn't like, it's that the lights are only about 6 to 8 inches off the ground. I would love it if the lights were sitting maybe a little taller up here on the handlebars, but there's no light up there. Now, one other advantage I've seen to these scooters is how well they handle sidewalks. I felt like the e-scooter was much more appropriate on a sidewalk than an e-bike. In fact, I felt a little less comfortable on the road with a scooter and a little bit more comfortable on the road with a bike, and vice versa on sidewalks. The top speed on this scooter, for me at my weight at 175 pounds, this scooter maxes out at 16 miles an hour. And for me, it felt a little on the slow side. My e-bike, on the other hand, hits 20 to 21 miles an hour, no problem. One cool thing is this scooter does have a little bit of suspension, and I have found that the ride is super, super smooth. So here's the big question. Which one gets better mileage? And I've got a special test for you. Let's check it out. Okay, today we're gonna try something really fun. We're gonna see the difference between commuting on this Isinwheel electric scooter versus this Velotric e-bike. What we're gonna have the boys do is they're both gonna ride at the exact same speed. Both devices are fully charged. They're gonna be doing 1 mile laps around this neighborhood on a closed course. And we're gonna see which of these two devices lasts the longer and which of these two kids is the most comfortable after, I'm guessing it's gonna be about an hour. What do you guys think?
Probably about an hour.
I think if they're gonna be averaging about 18 miles an hour, I don't see these two devices on turbo, top speed, lasting more than an hour. But we're gonna track it all on GPS and we're gonna find out exactly what these devices can do. Go.
There. That's not gonna work well.
How's it going? Okay, let's stop and do a quick distance and battery check. What's our distance at? You're at 13 miles, okay? And how's the battery looking?
2.
You're down to 2 dots on yours. Okay, and what are you at?
3.
You're on 3. Ooh.
I've been on 3 for a while though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. And how do you feel as far as speed goes? Are you guys roughly able to go about the same speed?
Yeah,
or do you feel like he's faster? What do you feel like?
I can go faster.
I can go faster.
Distance, speed, time, all those things. Battery, you're down to 1 point on your battery. You guys have officially gone, ooh, 19.9. If you feel like your battery's cutting out, I want you to let me know.
Okay.
I think you guys only got like 1 or 2 more laps left. All right, so let's get back on it and let's see how they do.
We both died. I think he died like 5 seconds before I did.
Are you serious? That was not expected.
In the watch off, it was 22:29.
22:29. Okay, we made it 22 miles. These boys were able to go 22 miles, 22.25 miles, and they died within 10 seconds of each other.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
This bike, it was on turbo mode, but because I was trying to keep them together, because we only had one GPS watch, we were only going about 16, 17 miles an hour here because that's where you were topped out, right?
Yeah.
So at this top speed, we were matched together, and this was able to go the exact same distance.
My feet did get a little tingly because I was just like standing
And vibrating.
like this and vibrating on the road.
Oh, I didn't think about the vibration. It's got a little shock on the front, but still.
On one point, on one of the laps, I went onto one of the driveways. It was super smooth. It felt good.
One thing that I noticed is that when you came back, this was totally rideable on a dead battery.
It was a lot more work. I didn't realize how much effort the battery was doing.
But it is still a bike, right? Like you were still able to ride and shift gears and all those things.
It's a normal bike.
You, on the other hand, were really struggling.
It's so much. It's so elevated because of the battery on the bottom.
You have to
so I
really
have to like
reach down to go.
reach down to push it.
This one is a third of the cost or less than this bike, right? So this is a much more affordable option, especially if I'm a college student. There's one big advantage. You know what it is?
Space.
Space, exactly right, right? If I'm a college student and I'm in a dorm room or an apartment, this is much harder to store than this. Not to mention, you can just fold this up and almost carry it with you to class.
Yeah.
So as far as portability, storage, and price, if I'm a college student, this is a pretty good option. There's something that I hated about this. I rode this to work a couple days. I felt
Like an idiot.
like an idiot. I don't know what it is. Call it just the vanity that I have. I'm comfortable, and I'm in my element on a bike. When I'm on a scooter and I'm just standing like this, it wasn't super fun. It didn't feel very masculine. It felt a little lame, okay? I felt like a nerd.
Dorky.
I felt dorky, I did. And that's probably all on me.
I felt fine with it. There was no issues with
I felt like
safety or
you looked
anything.
a little wobbly a couple times.
As
Yeah, and I like how there's one brake that slows you down like slowly, kind of like a car brake, and this brake just like
stops you.
stops you.
Yeah, this is supposed to be kind of a regenerative braking issue, and then the hand brake is actually a disc brake, which I thought was nice.
And you have a brake light, which is cool.
I felt pretty good. Like, even when I was riding against the wind, I wasn't putting too much effort in, like, at all. When you're on the scooter, you, like, have to slow down or go super wide when you want to turn.
Yeah,
Because it's
you
like,
do.
I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you need to slow down and go super wide for a turn. But
Oh, really? This was not as stable on a turn as this is.
Yeah,
No.
but on a bike, it's a bike. You just turn. He is like 90 pounds. When I go on it, I'm like 140, and I cannot go nearly as fast as he can.
Agreed. The power in this, I have the same problem. Tyler can easily go 17, 18 miles an hour.
I hit 19 today.
Did you? This thing does not do more than 15 or 14 with me on it. And I'm 170. Andrew's 140. Where did you usually top out at?
Like 16.
Well, listen, this is the Isinwheel S9 Max. It's a good little device for what it is. If I'm a poor college student and I'm trying to get a good deal on something to commute around town, this is pretty good. I even saw a kid the other day, you should have seen this. He had a box going to class in his hand like this, and he was leaning against the handlebars, and he was still able to like press on it and go. He was really funny. So you can still throw a backpack on your back. You can hold an extra thing in your hand. I don't know that you could really operate this with one hand because you've got the power on one side and the brake on the other. Like, it was dangerous. If his scooter was set up the same way, I would tell him that's not great. And there's no key for this one or for this one, for that matter. Both of these just have a strict power on. As far as security, they're both there. The only way this wins out is it is Find My compatible. Like, I can put it on my phone and it's got a GPS tag so I know if it's been stolen and where it's gone. There is a mobile app for this that does tell me what my battery charge is and kind of what my speed is, but I don't really find that super helpful.
Because it tells you right on the thing.
Yeah. Which one do you like better?
I like the bike.
You like the bike better?
I kind of like the scooter, actually.
I think it really depends on what you want. Tyler has his preference, Andrew has his. I still think I prefer the bike. Thanks for joining us. We hope you guys found this one entertaining, maybe even a little informative. We'll see you guys in the next video.